which were some islands discovered by Europeans. In the 15th and the 16th centuries, European explorers discovered many islands, both in the west and the east. It was Christopher Columbus who discovered the West Indies in 1492. The Spanish colonized the Philippines in the 1500s, and discovered several of the Caroline Islands. The Portuguese also sailed eastwards. They discovered Indonesia, Sumatra, Java, and Ceylon. What is crust of Earth? In geology, a crust is the outermost layer of a planet. The crust of the Earth is composed of a great variety of igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks. The crust is underlain by the mantle. The upper part of the mantle is composed mostly of peridotite, a rock denser than rocks common in the overlying crust. The boundary between the crust and mantle is conventionally placed at the Mohorovičić discontinuity, a boundary defined by a contrast in seismic velocity. Earth's crust occupies less than 1% of Earth's volume. The oceanic crust of the Earth is different from its continental crust. How a walkie-talkie works. Walkie-talkie are portable radios that use radio waves to communicate. Each unit consists of an antenna for sending and receiving radio waves. A group of people who are using walkie-talkies to talk to one another have to tune into the same frequency, which is called channel. When someone talks, their words are converted into radio waves, and then converted into fluctuating electric currents. The loudspeaker reproduces the sound of the talker's voice. Why are facts important? A fact can be your best friend. It inspires you, it enchances you, it gets you from the bouts of superstition. Facts can be used to develop students' critical thinking skills. It can be also used in paraphrasing too. The facts are educative, scientific, historical, and witty also. Facts give you the insight into science, history, and everyday living. After reading facts, you start thinking in a scientific and correct manner. Whatever scientific notation and research you will give, it will totally correct because it will be based on the verified facts. How cyclones are formed. Tropical cyclones form only over warm ocean waters near the equator. To form a cyclone, warm, moist air over the ocean rises upward from near the surface. As this air moves up and away from the ocean surface, it leaves as less air near the surface. Wearing headphones for just an hour will increase the bacteria in your ear by 700 times. How long do dogs live on average? Nearly 40% of small breed dogs live longer than 10 years, but only 13% of giant breed dogs live that long. The average 50-pound dog will live 10 to 12 years. But giant breeds such as Great Danes or Deerhounds are elderly at 6 to 8 years. How does a drop of water get its shape? The drop takes spherical shape because water molecules are pulling inward toward each other and tend to stick to each other. So, when with nothing around it to distort its shape, a very tiny water drop is perfectly round. If the drop is larger, like a raindrop, it has a domed top and a semi-flat bottom, because as it falls it must push the air out of its way. This upward push of the air causes the following drop to have a rather flat bottom, similar to teardrop. How does a giraffe sleep? In the wild, giraffes almost never lie down because of vulnerability to predators. They usually sleep standing, sometimes sitting, and they give birth standing up. When giraffes sleep, they curl their necks and sleep for about 5 minutes at a time, sleeping no more than 30 minutes a day. Why do some planets have rings? The rings of Saturn are magnificent. They are bright, wide, and colorful. Uranus has 9 dark rings around it. Neptune's rings are also dark. The ring of Jupiter is thin and dark. Scientists have not come to an agreement on the origin of these rings. The rings may have formed from the dust knocked off the planet's moons when they were bombarded by meteoroids. Some of them might have come from moons torn apart by the gravity of the planet, or they could have formed as the planets formed. The rings of Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune are made of dust, and very tiny pieces of rock and ice. The rings of Saturn are made of large particles of ice. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more updates from Rabbit Fox Insight.